Welcome everybody to a look at a brand new 4K Steelbook release, and it is 1998's Ronin. So yeah, this is a film directed by John Frankenheimer, who I'm a massive fan of. I've seen 11 of his other films, and for my money, he's still one of the few directors that has had a extremely good run of films in a row. Six films to be in total, running from 1962 to 1966, which started with Birdman of Alcatraz and The Manchurian Candidate, both of which came out in 1962. 7 Days in May and The Train, both of which came in 1964. And finally, Seconds and Grand Prix, which both came out in 1966. And he's done other stuff after that I really liked, like Black Sunday, 52 Pickup, but this, for my money, is his best outside of the 60s that I have seen so far. And it's an action thriller clocking in at 121 minutes long, had a budget of $55 million, but unfortunately it returned at the box office 70.7 million. So yes, it made its budget back, but by no means a massive hit given the sizable budget on the go there. Just to put that in context, that's not a huge amount of off the budget of Jurassic Park. But yeah, it does star Robert De Niro, who I've seen in 21 other films. Recent favourite being Killers of the Flower Moon, but I also really enjoyed him in Goodfellas and Casino. Also saw Jean Reno, who I've seen in 8 other films. Leon and Mission Impossible being my 2 other favourites from him. Also stars Natasha McElhone, who was in the Truman Show. Stellan Skarsgård, who I've seen in 15 other films. But yeah, most recent favourites from him would be his contribution to the Dune and Dune Part 2. And in supporting roles, you've got the likes of Jonathan Pryce, Sean Bean, and Michael Lonsdale, all 3 of which would be Bond villains, were Bond villains in the past. So, yes, really rather quite curious that all 3 of them are in this film. And yeah, this is about a briefcase with undisclosed contents, which is sought by Irish terrorists and the Russian mob, which makes its way into criminals' hands. An Irish liaison assembles a squad of mercenaries, or Ronin, and give them the thorny task of recovering the case. So, yeah, this is easily one of my favourite action films from the 90s, and there's, strong competition for the 90s in terms of action films. It's, for my money, even though Die Hard is my favourite action film of all time, which is in the 80s, I'd say overall the 90s was a much stronger decade for action. You look at this, Face Off, Speed, even Die Hard 2 and 3 were pretty good. Yeah, it's a real excellent decade for action films. And yeah, it's not just one of my favourites because of the action scenes either, as they are held together by a tight and twisting plot that features a superb cast. It is all, however, the action scenes that are the best part of this film, without a doubt, as they are equally thrilling and a feast for the eyes as the gunfights, explosions, and especially the 2 superb car chases are so well shot, choreographed, and because they're all practical, they are done in a convincing way. The practical element is always a big thing for me when it comes to car chases. I can't stand car chases that are reliant on CGI in a heavy amount of way. Obviously, if you're gonna go for massive spectacle, then you're gonna have to have CGI. But for your grounded, realistic car chases, yeah, lack of CGI is always the way to go. The script is also solid. I love the score. It looks great. It is well paced, and the violence is brutally realistic with little regard for innocent bystanders. Really reminds me of 1990s Total Recall in that respect, because yeah, no one in this film that isn't even a character is just a bystander, a civilian in the background, is safe at all. And yeah, that really adds a sense of stakes and tension, and the fact that just one bullet could end it all for anyone that is we're following in this. So yeah, fantastic steelbook. I love the look of it. Yes, it is the pretty much the normal poster, but it looks really nice and it's got a nice shine to it as well. Rear end is pretty good as well, although the writing here is a little bit annoying, but it's still overall a solid reverse on there as well. And yeah, get the film on 4K and Blu-ray, as you can see. And there's Jean Reno himself. And yeah, in terms of extras, so bonus on the Ultra HD is audio commentary by director John Frankenheimer and the theatrical trailer. And the bonus on the Blu-ray is in the cutting room. Then you got Natasha McElhone, the work of an actress, composing the music, risky driving maneuvers, filming in the fast lane, through the lens, interviews in Venice, and the alternative ending. There were actually three endings that were made for this. And John Frankenheimer basically went right down the middle in terms of the endings. Not too dark, not too Hollywood, but right down the middle. And yeah, I think the ending on this pretty works pretty well, to be honest. So and yeah, the 4K itself looks absolutely superb. Yeah, it looks way better in terms of image than it ever has done before. I know Arrow Video released a Blu-ray version of this 6 years ago or something like that. Now that had some restoration work done on it, but it doesn't look anywhere near as good as this for my money. And it's not just a picture, the sound quality, especially when it comes to the action scenes, is just exemplary. It's really like being in the cinema. Obviously, I do have a surround sound system, so it feels like that most times, but the 4K definitely livens it up. And yeah, you've got your HDR10 for the 4K, and then you've got your DTS HD uh, 5.1 audio. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, this is released by Capelight, who the last time we looked at anything from them was with the Quigley Down Under media book. Now they did release a media book of this as well. That basically means that you've got a booklet that would normally be separate and inside the case. That is part of the case itself. Now I would have gone for that, but I really like the look of the Steelbook for this, and there wasn't a Steelbook version of Quigley Down Under to choose from anyway, so I had no real choice for that. But yeah, I understand why people might go for the media book because they like the physical aspect with the booklet and the like, but I don't know entirely what that's going to be like because I don't actually have it. So it could be better, it could be worse than the Steelbook, but it basically just comes down to what you would prefer. So yeah, on the whole, a very good release. You also get a bit of a slipcover to put the Steelbook in to protect the back and the bottom. Obviously, there's nothing on the top, but you know you can work your collection around that. To be honest, so yeah, highly recommend this film if you've not seen it already. Like I said, it's easily a classic of the 90s in terms of action films. And even though it wasn't John Frankenheimer's last film that he ended his career on, because he unfortunately only died 4 years after this, it is his last excellent film after a somewhat lax period in the years before. But I am glad that he was able to was given the ability to, you know, go on a relative high. Obviously, there was one more film after this, I think, called Reindeer Games, which didn't have the best reception, but you know, to nearly end your career on such an excellent film and get a massive budget behind you and an ensemble cast is, yeah, the best that any director can ask for, quite frankly. So, yeah, but if you have seen this film, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.